The Chernobyl nuclear power plant near Pripyat in Soviet Ukraine symbolized Soviet technological prowess. It housed 4 RBMK-1000 reactors unique to the Soviet Union. These reactors had design flaws, including instability at low power. The plant was a model facility staffed by skilled engineers. However, secrecy and pressure to meet quotas existed. The RBMK-1000 reactor was graphite-moderated and water-cooled. Graphite slowed neutrons, allowing a chain reaction. Water cooled the reactor core. Fuel rods contained uranium dioxide pellets. These pellets underwent fission, releasing heat. The plant supplied electricity to the region. It was one of the largest in the Soviet Union. The plant was a source of Soviet pride. Design flaws and pressure to meet demands led to disaster. On April 26, 1986, a routine safety test at Chernobyl's Unit 4 reactor went tragically wrong. The test, designed to simulate a power outage, aimed to assess the reactor's ability to cool itself using backup generators. However, a combination of design flaws, operator errors, and a disregard for safety protocols led to a catastrophic power surge. The reactor's power output spiked uncontrollably, causing a sudden and massive increase in temperature and pressure within the core. The surge in power caused the water coolant to vaporize, creating a steam explosion that ripped apart the reactor vessel. The explosion blew off the reactor's heavy steel and concrete lid, exposing the reactor core to the atmosphere. The exposed core, containing highly radioactive material, ignited, setting off a raging fire that burned for days. The fire released a massive plume of radioactive material into the atmosphere, carrying it high above the Soviet Union and beyond. The explosion at Chernobyl was unprecedented in the history of nuclear power. It was a stark reminder of the immense power harnessed within these reactors and the devastating consequences of human error. The disaster sent shockwaves around the world, raising serious concerns about the safety of nuclear energy and the potential for similar accidents elsewhere. The immediate aftermath of the explosion was chaotic and terrifying. Plant workers, firefighters, and residents of Pripyat were exposed to lethal doses of radiation. Many suffered from acute radiation sickness, experiencing symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and skin burns. The Soviet government, initially slow to acknowledge the severity of the disaster, evacuated Pripyat 36 hours after the explosion. Thousands of residents were forced to leave their homes, unaware if they would ever return. The explosion released a radioactive cloud that spread across Europe and beyond. The cloud carried radioactive isotopes like iodine, 131, cesium-137, and strontium-90, which posed significant health risks. Countries across Europe implemented emergency measures, monitoring radiation levels and restricting food and water supplies. The world watched in horror as the true extent of the disaster unfolded. Section 4. Containment and evacuation, the response. In the wake of the explosion, a massive containment and cleanup effort was launched. Soviet authorities mobilized thousands of liquidators, firefighters, miners, soldiers, and volunteers to contain the disaster. These brave individuals worked tirelessly in extremely hazardous conditions, extinguishing the fire, entombing the destroyed reactor in a concrete sarcophagus, and decontaminating the surrounding area. Many liquidators received high doses of radiation, suffering long-term health consequences. The Soviet government established a 30-kilometer exclusion zone around the Chernobyl plant, evacuating all residents and restricting access to the area. The exclusion zone, still in effect today, encompasses the destroyed power plant, the abandoned city of Pripyat, and surrounding villages. It serves as a stark reminder of the disaster and the enduring impact of radiation. Section 5. Chernobyl's legacy, a warning sign. The Chernobyl disaster had profound and long-lasting consequences. The official death toll from the disaster remains disputed, with estimates ranging from dozens to thousands. The long-term health effects of radiation exposure, including cancer and other illnesses, continue to affect survivors and those living in contaminated areas. The disaster had a devastating impact on the environment, contaminating soil, water and wildlife. But Chernobyl served as a wake-up call for the global nuclear industry. It exposed serious flaws in reactor design, safety protocols and emergency response systems. The disaster prompted a reassessment of nuclear safety standards worldwide, leading to improvements in reactor design, operator training, and emergency preparedness. The legacy of Chernobyl serves as a reminder of the importance of transparency, accountability, and the need to prioritize safety in the pursuit of nuclear energy.